Today's drive was only 82 miles from Radium Hot Springs to the Lake Louise campground in Banff National Park. We continued up BC 93 through Kootenay National Park to the Trans-Canada Highway at Castle Junction. From there, it's about 18 miles to the campground at Lake Louise.
Doesn't say otherwise. Come on, turn! How much room have I got up there? I don't know. You got the... Where is this guy? Oh, no. These people are trips. Alright, now. Patience, grasshopper, patience. Sorry. It's nice, but no. It's too tight. Yeah. You can't move around. I think it's cute, but it's not for motorhomes.
We got an early start this morning for the short drive up to Lake Louise. We did encounter a problem leaving the RV park as the roads are narrow and a driver pulling a fifth wheel was driving the wrong way down the exit road. Since we are towing the Jeep with all four wheels down, we cannot back up without unhooking the Jeep first. We waited for the fifth wheel to move out of the way. We both agreed the campground was lovely, but it was too tight for large rigs like ours.
Is that what we saw on a picture? Oh, was that in Alaska with the hot?
Liard Hot Springs. There's sheep. There's a particular kind of sheep I think. I can't remember what all. I got the.
The Kootenay River is a major river of the Northwest Plateau in southeastern British Columbia, northern Montana, and Idaho. The river runs 485 miles from its headwaters in the Canadian Rockies to where it joins the Columbia River at Castlegar, British Columbia. We arrived at the Lake Louise area too early to check into the campground, so we hung out in the overflow parking lot for a couple hours before we were able to check in. After we got the coach parked and hooked up, we headed out for Lake Louise. I was looking forward to seeing Lake Louise again. I had been there once before with my parents on a road trip from Louisiana. I knew it would be crowded since it was mid-July and peak tourist season. Nevertheless, it was just as beautiful as I remembered. Lake Louise is a glacial lake within Banff National Park in Alberta, Canada. It's named after Princess Louise Caroline Alberta, the fourth daughter of Queen Victoria and the wife of the Governor-General of Canada in the late 1800s. The turquoise color of the water comes from rock flour carried into the lake by meltwater from the glaciers that overlook the lake. I don't know.
Is that bear?
Might be. Fairview Lookout, 1.6 kilometers.
That's where we want to go, man.
That's a long way. That's too far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fairmont's Chateau Lake Louise, one of Canada's grand railway hotels, is located on Lake Louise's eastern shore. It's a luxury resort hotel built in the early decades of the 20th century by the Canadian Pacific Railway. After we left Lake Louise, we headed up Moraine Lake Road to see Moraine Lake. Also a glacial lake, Moraine is smaller than Lake Louise, but is famous for its distinctive shade of azure blue. Unfortunately, the parking area at the lake fills up quickly, so we had to turn around as it was clear we would not be able to find a place to park. So we headed back to the coach to relax and prepare for the trip ahead. Today was the first day of 5 straight days of traveling before we had a day of rest.